Mm, mm. Merry Christmas Eve to everybody out there, man. Welcome. It's your gracious host back again. I really feel like this live need to be held because number one, it was a good week and a good year. And like I always say, Sunday is actually your first day of the week. So it's a good time to put things in perspective. I hope you're enjoying your holiday season. You know, these three holidays that we see back to back: Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and Valentine's Day are family focused. So around this time of year, man, it's a big time for you to think about where your life is going relationship wise. We always hit a hustle and bustle about families, about working, all the other stuff that is incredibly important. But these holidays right here put life into perspective. Why do I harp on that so much? Because life is about family at the end of the day. It's about relationships. It's about people. It's about building. And it's about having a healthy dynamic to know where you are going in your family. So if you're putting your kids to bed, if it's you and your spouse just chilling, whatever you do right here, man, this is that time of year where you show appreciation. Everything should be done by now. The presents should be wrapped. Everything should be cleaned up. But I think if you're looking for something tonight to talk about, I wanted to dive in because I believe this topic is very important. Number one, I think it's very important because there is a new world out here, y'all. Especially for men. Is it a new world? Or have we just not been educated on what's already been there? And what do I mean by this topic? As I've had many conversations with bros, shout out to the men's group in Houston. Talk to men, we always chop it up. We have detailed conversations about life, family. The one thing that I could say for most black men are miseducated the most on is race, relationship, and the stories of this country. If you are Black American and your family's from here, you know your ancestral lineage in some way. Many of us, I'm going to use myself as an example, that's a millennial or younger. There is a disconnection on what history has been like in this country as far as dynamics, as far as relationships, as far as the way things are. There are many rules in life that we could look under a law book and legally find, right? But there are also a lot of unwritten rules. And the reason why I say there's a lot of unwritten rules that we do not discuss is because a lot of people don't have a phase in life. And I posted earlier about reading, right? And I love to do stuff like that because a lot of men don't have a phase in life where they could just be esquires. They used to call it esquire phase, right? Where you're just reading, where you're just being intellectually curious, when you want to learn, when you want to understand how the world works around you. So if you're in the United States of America, you should know these landmark decisions and how history has been going. And the reason why I want to reference this is because we've seen the story of the great Jonathan Major happen this week. But, one thing I find very interesting is that I hear a lot of brothers say Jonathan Major's what happened to him was a tragedy. True. But what most people that have no ability to look back on history, see how life was, and to understand dynamics, it's been happening. If you've ever read the story in school, I know it was offensive. I remember people didn't like it. Huckleberry Finn. It's the same dynamic. It's the same dynamic of black man with a white woman, something happened, and the white woman gets the benefit of the doubt. It's the same thing that happens all the time about racial dynamics as far as policing, how you're viewed, how black men are viewed early, older at a younger age, how the bigger you are, the more transparent you must be with your actions and emotion, how racial hierarchy happens in this country. If you ever have a period where you must work your mind, you got to remember these stories because this is the new normal and it's been that way for almost 60 years. Yes, we have made an incredible amount of strides as a country. Yes, we have tried to implement forced change, forced integration. But we must understand is that a lot of generations still have this same ideology, psychological. So Jonathan Majors, if you did not know the story, was a famous actor. He's a famous actor, and he was dating a young lady they grew up with, right? And while dating this young lady, a situation happened, and He was trying to remove himself because he feared what could potentially harm himself or his family, right? So trying to do the right thing, Jonathan Major put him and himself and his family in danger. He did. Because he didn't understand at the time that he was self-segregating himself and his family members. So Mr. Majors at the time, right, was trying. Let me show you a picture of Mr. Majors in case everybody don't know who he is. Jonathan Majors, phenomenal actor, phenomenal man. That's the picture of this guy, right? We may know him from the Creed films. That's his most famous work. He's also been known to be transparent in his artistry, his development, and how many other things have been happening. So this brother was on a date with his ex-girlfriend. His ex-girlfriend was known to do drugs at the time, right? She was known to have a little bit of a bad side to her. I don't know all her family background or ancestral, but she was known to have a lot of things going on, right? So at the time, Mr. Majors tried to do the thing that he thought was safe because, number one, he has a lot more to lose. He knew that this girl was either drunk or some type of drink, alcohol was in the system, right? So instead of engaging with her, because he is a rather big male, he's at the top of his career, he knows the do's and don'ts, right? So he tried his best himself to not engage as much. So as he was trying not to engage with this woman, the one thing he tried to do was run from her. Now, I wouldn't suggest you run all the time, brothers, but I do believe seeing it in real time to open your eyes up. So I want y'all to watch this behavior of Jonathan Majors. Was in the street. He's in the streets of New York. He was being.
I just run across the great state of Alabama. That's what I did.
He knew she was under cushion. He knew she was drinking a little bit. Now I want you to watch this gentleman. He's knowing right now in this situation is all the way left. So he's choosing to run. Look how fast this brother's running, y'all. Pause. You know this dude is in shape, right? I want you to look how fast this brother's running from this girl. What they said in this court case was he harassed her. Now, I want you to pay attention to this. She was in fear for her life. This brother is sprinting away from her. He knows in his mind, I'm an actor. I got a lot to lose. This is a woman. We together, but we really ain't together. I'm trying to defend myself and my career the best way I know how. What most men, especially brothers, don't understand is that this is a normal scene throughout history. So he's running to defend himself. He wanted to be on camera, which was smart. He wanted to show that he was not being the aggressor, which is smart. He's doing whatever he can to eliminate and create space from her because he knew it was going to be a problem. But what he did not equate, which most Black American men in this country do not understand, is the dynamic of how deep race and stuff like this attractions have been around. Oh man, he shouldn't have been with her. He shouldn't have reacted like that. He should have known better. True. But the failure shouldn't come on the hands of always what his actions should be. The failure should sometimes come from you learning from stories growing up. If I was to ask the average brother right now, in this country right now, how many times do you think accusations have been made against brothers and we know about it? I'll give you a layup. Emmett Till. Right? What about Rosewood? Tulsa? Wilmington? Richmond? New Orleans? Memphis? East St. Louis? Chicago riots? If you look at any of the ethnic cleansings that took place in this country, many of them took the place at the hands of a so-called "you touched this woman" incident. A lot of the crimes many brothers have no idea have happened in this country have come from the same Huckleberry Finn, "you touched this woman, there is no burden of proof, our word against yours" type of mindset. If I asked the average brother how many times have they seen this happen in their lifetime, many of them couldn't even tell you. They couldn't tell you that this is not new. They couldn't tell you because many of our parents did not properly teach us or sit us down and have an educational argument on how the racial dynamics of this country truly go. And what we got to do is learn right now that it is uncomfortable to talk about these type of things, but it's normal. It's not normal to us because we're not educating the younger boys about it, but it's true. Emmett Till, look at all the stories in a quick Google search that you will see pop up about this throughout history. Jonathan Majors is not a new story. It's new because it's in the headlines right now, but we see it over and over and over again throughout history. We see a young black man. We see a young black man get championed for saying he was, I don't know if it was true or not. She said he did it. We all don't say anything. She's right. The brothers continue to date, not knowing this racial dynamic exists. The brothers go out in this world not understanding that racial psychological image is still lasting around. Whose fault is that laid on ours? I believe it could be both sides. It could be our elders. It could be this, because we are definitely pushed that we are in a post-racial society all the way, which I believe we have strides and tried to do. But if you are working dynamic, if you deal with certain people, you will realize that we are not as far along as we think we are. We're not. And if you are dating, if you are out here in the real world, or you are any man that has any size, stature, enthusiasm, energy to you, if you are dating interracially, you need to learn these stories. And I know it's uncomfortable to talk about this, about race and stuff like that. I get it. As someone that has mixed all in my family, I get it. But we must stop walking around and tiptoeing around these issues, because we seeing it happen in real time, and we're just saying, oh, Jonathan Majors got to be better. No, we're not teaching the stories of race in this country the way they need to be taught. We could go back to Emmett Till. Many of you may not know the story. A young man from Chicago who was born there during the Great Migration, going home to visit his families during the summertime, like that was normally done. He grew up in a place where the taboo culture was not as strong. He went home where it was very strong. An elderly white woman accused him of a crime. There was no proof, and he was murdered. He was beaten brutally as a 14-year-old young man. He wasn't viewed as a young man. He was brutally murdered. Call it what it is. Many times our young men, especially if you have some weight or some stature to you, are not young men anymore. If you are the age of 10 and you are a dark-skinned black American male and you are over the height of 5'8", you are going to be viewed as a young man. If you have any stature, if your voice is developed, you must understand that they are not teenagers. They are not viewed as adolescents in totality. And it's okay to say that. But we can't sit out here and act like they don't need to know these type of things. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, brother, for saying facts, man. But we got to understand that young boys are going to be viewed that way. And if we don't get out here and make sure we champion that message, no matter where they are in this country, no matter where they are in this world, when they get out here and date, they don't understand, or they're not even equipped to handle this type of thing. Because the one thing that no mother, no family can protect your child from is racial dynamics in this country. I don't care if you don't talk about it. You can't guard it. You can't talk about religion. You must talk about this subject. You must teach your boys about this subject. We must let our young men know that race is real. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. But we're ill-equipping them by sending them out in this world saying you will have the same opportunity no matter what, no matter what's going on, when it's not true. And Jonathan Majors is in a long line of brothers that are not mentally equipped and do not understand the dynamics and why it matters. And the one reason why I want to pivot, y'all, to tell you why this matters, because there's a severe disconnect right now. I'm not in the dating world, but I got plenty of brothers out here dating. If you are an elderly brother or a black man trying to give a young man advice, stop giving them advice that was something that worked 30 years ago. if you have not been dating actively, or you do not have friends that are out here dating actively, you need to stop speaking on and telling on brothers what they need to be doing. It is offensive to them. Is it offensive to all brothers you giving them dating advice that you said that would happen in your generation? And the reason why I say that, I don't have to be out here dating, but I'm at that age frame where I got a lot of brothers that are still out here actively in the dating world. And the one thing I learned immediately is that every advice we were given post-college, high school, whatever, it ain't the same. So if you are a man over the age of any age in particular, you must understand that every bit of dating advice you giving these brothers out here now, it don't work. Because you will literally have a woman tell a man that is working hard, trying to provide for himself, trying to do well, to treat a woman as you would have treated a woman in your generation. And the reason why it does not work is that you think that this attitude that I'm about to show you right now is not normal. As I talk to many brothers my age, the dating for women out here, the expectation has changed. It has changed. I always believe a video and a picture is worth more than my voice. And I want you to see what this sister said about taking her to a particular restaurant on a first date. I want you to understand, this ain't me talking. This is her.
Me to no motherfucking Cheesecake Factory on no first date. First date is supposed to be an experience, okay? I want to experience. I need ambiance, all right? I need dim lighting. I go to Cheesecake Factory with my homegirls for a little light lunch, all right? I go to Cheesecake Factory with my mama. The Cheesecake Factory is where I take my little sister for her birthday. It's childish and it's cheap, okay? That's where I go when I'm trying to save some fucking money when my family's in town and I gotta take everybody out. I ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying? Hey, let's go to Cheesecake Factory. If she works at Walmart, absolutely. Take her to the Cheesecake Factory. If you plan on taking a bad bitch out on a fucking date, you cannot take her to the Cheesecake Factory. And you think you're gonna get some pussy after we order the cheesecake?
I just had to pause it right there, but I want you to see in real time what other brothers are out here dealing with in the dating world. I'm gonna keep playing it.
Factory? Absolutely the fuck not. Do not take her to the Cheesecake Factory. Not on the first date, bro. Not on the first date. Maybe after y'all get to know each other, after y'all start fucking, you can take her to goddamn McDonald's, bitch. It don't matter, because that's your bitch now. You understand? But when you're trying to make her your bitch, you have to impress her. You understand? You got to show her the finer things in life. Hey, look, babe, when you get with me, that's how we gonna eat. And mind you, we don't never got to eat like that again. But that first date, baby, that's a make or break you, okay? That first date is going to show her who the fuck you are. And even if you ain't that nigga, bitch.
This is a lot more than normal than most men even realize. This talking point, this behavior, the swag, the attitude, the expectation is a lot more normal. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of the time we don't teach men to even have the basics for racial dynamics, social dynamics, or even dating or dealing with women dynamics. As you just heard the sister articulate herself, you know, she is who she is. We ain't got to attack the person, but we could talk about the ideology. We got to understand that we are telling guys to go out here and date and manufacture a relationship with women that think they can't eat at certain restaurants. Now, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but if I take you anywhere while I'm attempting to figure you out as a person, that should be enough. When do we get to a point in life where we got to take you to a certain place just to have a conversation? A first date is a qualification period, if most brothers don't know. Your first date is to pre-qualify you to see if you even have the energy for another one. I recommend you don't even take nowhere to eat. I recommend coffee. I recommend ice cream. I recommend anything that makes you think, and it's a social setting. all of this, spend money to go out and hear you eat. Why are we doing that? Because I should not be investing in you until date three. Date three, my opinion. Your first one should be initial pre-qualification period. It ain't got to be long. It ain't got to be long. It can simply be ice cream. Let's chit chat. Let's see what you're talking about. Because what I want to do right there, I want to find out why your mental is. I want to ask you, where was your daddy at in your life? It depends on, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm asking a real question. Let's get to it. What was your daddy like? Excuse me, I don't know what just happened, y'all. What happened in your last relationship? What happened when you didn't get what you wanted at one point in time? What happened when somebody, man, tells you no? How do you respond to that? What happens when you are told that you can't get what you want in that moment? Do you cry? Do you disengage? Do you argue? Do you fuss? Do you fight? When you are frustrated, do you know how to emotionally communicate, or do you shut down? Do you? When things don't go your way and we have to hunker down, save some money, cook at home for a few weeks, can we do that? Can we do that and still love each other? How's the relationship with you when everything does not go the way you want? Because as we all say, we want to date with a purpose, right? I think that's the goal of anybody, especially if you're maturing and you're trying to get older and get age. I get that. But if you're dating with a purpose, you're dating with an intuition to you, you're dating to make something happen long term. We ain't dating to see no games, to see you playing games with me. Why are we doing that? It makes no sense. So our purpose and our whole mainframe for dating is to make sure that things happen in the way we want to, right? That's the whole purpose of it. So if we're not doing that, what are we really doing? Huh? Truthfully. So the reason why I think all of that is important, ladies and gentlemen, is because as of right now, we are at a time period in life where we don't even understand how much the dating dynamics have changed. We don't. So I'm going to give y'all a video right now of some of our elders trying to give us relationship advice. And I love this brother for what he's been through and what was his story. But I do believe that, man, we got a problem when we telling brothers about dating advice and we got elders telling us some stuff like this. So let's go ahead and change it up to it. Some know him, some don't. Here's the great Kurt Franklin with Shannon Sharp. If you have not seen this clip, go to.
What are your thoughts on 50-50 relationships?
I'm old school.
See, that's me.
I'm old school. I'm gonna pay for everything.
But hold on, if you pay for everything, are you expecting old school values in a new school woman? Because that's not how they're wired.
But they can be. I think that every woman.
Hold on. Even when I hear that, y'all, what do you mean you can be? You got to be there for me. Like, you got to come prepared and ready like I have to. It ain't no, you need this relationship from me, man. We got to figure out and do what's best for us. If we're going to do this thing long term, right? If we're trying to figure it out, if we're trying to understand the value of how life and how relationships are supposed to be, there shouldn't even be a conversation about contributions. There shouldn't. And I'm going to tell you one thing that kind of gets me going a lot, y'all. When did many of us come from affluent homes? I'm not saying some of us didn't come from better homes than others. But when did we get this ideology that most Black American people come from wealth? Many of our homes are blue collar. Yes, we do have some families that aspire and that do well, better than others, but many of our families are blue collar. And if you come from a blue collar background, there's nothing wrong with you having aspirations. But what you need to understand is that You need somebody that's going to work with you. That's the most important thing. What you do as a career is not going to translate into your relationship. It's not. And I got the degrees, I got the education, I got the money, but none of that has to do with me and Dee doing stuff daily day. I got to figure it out with her. I got to be hubby when I'm home. I'm not boss. I'm not leader. I'm not coach. I'm the man of the house when I get in here. I'm the man that has to lead. I'm the man that got rubber feet, talk to her, listen to the vision, talk about the vision for our family. That is the purpose of the man as we ground ourselves. So it ain't even no conversation about anything and dating and marriage. We got to draw a line in the sand. The line, let me draw it for you. If you are a wife, you get taken care of completely. Period. Bills, nails, money, whatever you need. If you a wife, that's what happens to you. If you are not a wife or a long-term relationship with that man or woman, it don't happen. Why is this a discussion? If you my wife, you get taken care of more. If you want the perks and benefits of the wives in a relationship in our community, you need to get married. Bottom line. Only bills I got to pay is these. I got to be in a relationship as her. Anybody else can come and go. Everything else really don't matter for real, for real. It really don't. So we got to understand if you're doing for that individual, if the relationship is like that, what it is, that's one facet. That's one thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm not in here to tell anybody what their relationship is supposed to be like. That ain't my style. That ain't me. But what I'm saying is that what we have to understand is that, hey, whatever works for you and your household works for you and your household. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You ain't got to explain it. You ain't got to talk about it. You ain't got to break it down. Whatever works for better in your household, that's what we need to preach. And Kurt, no disrespect, bro. Ask the opinion of the men first. If they are a man 35 and under and they're dating, that chivalry stuff is not here. The dating and the way y'all did it back in the day is not here. The paying for everything, no. I really harp against it. Unless that woman is your wife, and even if she is your wife, if you pay for everything, how y'all gonna grow and buy stuff together? If you paying for everything, what's she doing? I mean, it just, you got to think about it long term in a society where you're growing. If y'all at a certain age, unless it's a huge age gap and you're way much older than your wife, it is not going to work out that way. If y'all are growing together, ain't no such thing as I got to pay this. That's not how I go. Me and my lady grew together. If you are growing with that man, ain't no 50-50. Sometimes it's going to be 100-0. Sometimes it's going to be 80-20. Other times it's going to be 60-40. Sometimes it's going to be 100-0. That's what relationships are. This standard, you don't listen to what other people are telling you. What I'm telling you is that in your marriage, in your happy home, whatever works for you and your family, make it work. If you ain't never been married, if you ain't never been in a long-term relationship, stop giving advice about what people in a relationship need to do. For real. If you are a man seeking it, I think every man should try to have it. As someone that's been single, in a relationship, been in both dynamics. Seek what you want with your heart, bro. Seek it because you deserve it. And there is a marriage gap once you get in corporate jobs, real serious environments. There is. Ain't nobody going to tell you, but there is. But don't settle. Use that word on them. You want someone that is already ready. I don't want to have to coach you, train you up. How am I going to coach you and train you up and fight out here in this world? And slay these dragons and do all that. It's impossible. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to work. Do not do it. I'm going to keep playing the video for context, but don't listen to this crap, man.
Would be grateful for a man to step up and take leadership in the right way. The problem is the lack of love, compassion, and the lack of still having a voice in your significant other is some things, the thing that we as men fail at.
Let me go ahead and say something that he needs to clarify. Men have to have leadership over themselves then it will translate to their home. If you are not a man dedicated to the relationship where you and your wife are going, I understand what he's saying. But at the same time, just as much as I got to leave my home, I must have as much support and listening capacity. Communication. Communication is not all about just one person speaking. Communication could be your body language, the way you talk to each other, the way you were raised, your attributes, your follow-up steps, the way you respond to me when I'm talking to you. All of that goes into that dynamic. Not just you have to do this, I have to do that. That's not how that goes. A lot more goes into it. Money is not the important part of that dynamic and relationship. It matters, but it's not the most important. Provision, leadership, acquaintance, communication, emotional intelligence. Those are far superior on what it takes for y'all to be solidified at the beginning. Just my opinion. A lot of us never came from money. My parents never really had a lot of money. But what they did is they gave us strong foundational steps. We need more children with strong foundational steps right now. That's what we don't see. We don't see the strong foundational steps in children that we once saw 50 years ago. That is why we have the problems that we have currently until this day. Let's keep going.
It's because there is this authoritarian mindset that we also have that if I'm contributing and leading everything, that I contribute and lead everything.
Right.
But there still should be an equal voice and an opinion and view that we must consider, that we must acquiesce to at times, because there's a wisdom and a knowledge that a woman brings to the table that we benefit from. And so, but a lot of that is our own insecurities,
Right.
a lot of the ways that we were raised.
What's a good place to take someone on the first date? You know, there's this thing that's viral moment with the Cheesecake Factory.
I saw it.
And how much should one spend?
I think the best place to go on the first date is to ask her where she want to go.
Man, hey, man, Kurt.
50-50 relationship.
Come on,
I'm
Kurt.
old school.
See, that's me.
I'm old
Hold on,
school.
man. I
I'm gonna
can't
pay for everything.
Kurt.
But,
Kurt.
hold on. If you pay for everything,
I'm sorry.
are you
Kurt just
expecting
made me
old
mad.
school value?
Bruh. For real?
See, that's me.
I'm old school. I'm gonna pay for everything.
But hold on. 50-50 relationships.
I'm old school.
See, that's me.
I'm old school. I'm gonna pay for everything.
But hold on. If you pay for everything, are you expecting old school values in a new school woman? Because that's not how they're wired.
But they can be. I think that every woman would be grateful for a man to step up and take leadership in the right way. The problem is the lack of love, compassion, and the lack of still having a voice in your significant other is the thing that we as men fail at. It's because there is this authoritarian mindset that we also have that if I'm contributing and leading everything, that I contribute and lead everything.
Right.
But there still should be an equal voice and an opinion and view that we must consider, that we must acquiesce to at times, because there's a wisdom and a knowledge that a woman brings to the table that we benefit from. And so, but a lot of that is our own insecurities,
Right.
a lot of the ways that we were raised.
What's a good place to take someone on the first date? You know, there's this thing that's viral moment with the Cheesecake Factory.
I saw it.
And how much should one spend?
I think the best place to go on the first date is to ask her where she want to go.
Oh, no. No.
Why?
Big in, big on.
Why?
Because she says, I want to go to this 5-star restaurant where you already know if you just order the water, it's $50.
But what's wrong with her saying that? What's
wrong with me saying no? No.
So first of all, I'm trying to figure out what's the problem with that.
Ain't no problem. It ain't no problem with her asking. Ain't no problem with me saying no. So now, what's the next question? Where can we go?
Why are you saying no?
Because here's the thing.
Okay, give it to me. Why are you saying no?
If I start you here, where do I go after here?
That ain't necessarily true.
It is.
Oh, it ain't
Man,
true. Watch it. Man, peeking. You know what? I got to give you youngsters game. Y'all ain't got no game. Here it is. You can say there easily, okay, baby girl, I'm finna take you to this place you want to, but I'm finna let you know, this place is so mad expensive. I'm doing it because I want to impress you, to let you know that I got you. Hold on, let me finish. I got you, but I ain't gonna be able to do this all the time. And make a joke out of it, make it light, keep it cool, keep it fun. Because see, let me tell you what wins a woman every time. Make her laugh.
Kurt, bro. And I love Kurt Franklin, man. His story is amazing. I did a live on it recently, but Kurt, you disconnected, bro. Yeah. No, fellas. You need to control where you're going to go. All this first date, I'm going to say it again, is a pre-qualification period. You should not spend no more than $25 on a first date. Yeah, I said it. You shouldn't spend nothing to have simply conversation to see if the spark, if the conversation, if the mindset, if y'all spiritual, mental, social beliefs align. That's all it is. That's all a first date is. I see you. There's a mutual attraction. The first date is a sitting down to see if there's a mental attraction. The second date has to be something active, physical, to see where your mind is. I recommend for all my bros, go to escape room. Your second date should be something where you see them mad, frustrated, upset, communication style. Bring them in the element where you must see them and how they respond. Then your third date could be something fancy or something higher end. But if you start off fancy or higher end, I always ask the follow-up question and I never get a response. What are you going to do for anniversary? What are you going to do for holidays? What are you going to do for moments where you guys celebrate y'all anything in life? If you've already taken them to this place, they're not going to want to go back again. You must build on your foundation. Your foundation is solidified with love, context, communication, and understanding. Build a strong foundation. The foundation should be on minimal pieces that you grow from. What we're going to do to learn, what we're going to do to love, how we're going to grow with each other. What Kurt Franklin's saying is sand. It's surface level. It's skin deep. It's not going to help you when something goes wrong. And what we have right now currently is that we have a lot of people that don't know how to handle the context of when things go wrong. And when things go wrong in your relationship, which they will, you need to know how to process each other's emotions. You need to learn how to process when things are not where they're supposed to be. When things are not where they're supposed to be, you got to learn how to handle that. You got to learn how to say, man, look, right now, I'm emotionally, I'm not where I need to be. Mentally, socially, I've had a lot going on. I don't know how to handle that. And that's okay. None of that is a negative side. All of these are normal aspects in your relationship and your time frame together. The reason why I think all this is so important, you're going to have spills in your relationship where they're going to be bad. I had to go through a court battle. I had to go through a period where I didn't know what career path I was going to be on. I went through a career change together. I went through a period where I had to go through a certain breakup with friends, relationship, real life stuff. I went through a period where my parents went through a separation, a divorce, graduated from college, having a job, having to leave everything I knew to go to a new place. You have to have someone with you, man, that can process those emotions. I didn't say handle them all. What I'm saying is that we have reached a point in society where I look good. I got a nice body. That's it. That should be enough. No, that ain't nothing. That's all surface level stuff. Because after you get away from that, you still got to deal with each other. You still got to build with each other. You still got to live with each other. And the reason I think that is so important, I think Tyrese, you know who we laugh at all the time, spoke so honestly and candidly about this subject. I want to play it for you because a lot of us have no idea what truly goes into a relationship and what happens at what different points of your life, how they change. Let them play.
Difference to what a marriage is. How can I naturally know how to be something I was never raised by? You don't know what a wife is because you've never had the blueprint, a point of reference of what a wife is. In your mind, a wife is just getting a ring. That's not a wife. Are you ready to mentally, spiritually, emotionally, sexually hold your man down? Or is it just about getting a ring and being able to say, I's married now? This is not the color purple. This is reality. You don't have what it takes to be a wife. It's not just about the man. That's not the reason that marriages fail. They love to blame it the man. They love to say he cheated on me. That's why it's over. I am bored out of my mind. I'm with you. Listen, I told this woman, if I was stranded on I was so bored. Every time I went through the worst periods of my life on a personal level. This woman didn't know what to say or do to help me to get through. You were physically there, but I still felt alone. I said to her, if I was stranded on an island and they said you can take either a thing or a person, it wouldn't be you.
You told her that?
I told her that.
That's why
You probably could have just
Now,
broke it up. You didn't have
that
to say
wasn't
that.
about tearing her down. Listen,
Okay.
I'm already on an island and I feel by myself. When you get in the most vulnerable, dark spaces in your life, when you're dealing with the roughest patches, your wife is and your girl or whoever is supposed to be there to help you to get through. It's me and my baby. There's nobody else. You can't buy me nothing to fix this. You can't pull up a car with a ribbon on it to fix it. I need to have a conversation with my woman, with my wife. They don't understand that. They would say, my face is pretty, my ass is big, my stomach is flat. This should be enough to help you to get through, right? I can go to the kitchen and cook something for you.
Back to the
It'll
first
fix
point.
it. No.
Back to the
That's
first
what I'm
point.
saying. So at the end of the day, it's very simple. When you get married, when all of the balloons are gone and the tents are torn down, your little horse and carriage and 1,500 people that you flew in town, do you even know the person you're marrying? Do I love you more than I know you? How is it possible for me to be talking, oh my God, he's amazing and she's amazing? You're selling everybody on some shit that you don't even believe. So then when it's all said and done and the smoke clears, you don't even know the person you married. That's it. Women give up on men too quick, man.
I agree with that.
So if you slip up, it's not always equated to cheating. Stop giving up. At the end of the day, listen, if you walk up the street right now, are you as a woman, can you say you don't see the value in that man because he's homeless? Okay. What is your point?
I think the most beautiful thing that Tyrese hit on that we need to all process. Many of us have never been taught how to process our emotions. That's man or woman. Only reason why I learned how to do that was going to therapy. Going to therapy taught me how to say when I am sad, how to vocally say I am sad. When I am tired, how to use those words to say that I am tired. Many of us, if I've asked you how to process your emotions, feelings right now, have you been guided how to do it? I know most of us men have no idea, and that's okay. Most of us ladies, honestly, did not have great mothers that showed them to, and that's okay as well. But we got to be honest and transparent about our lack of vulnerabilities with each other. Because honestly, a marriage is when you have a spouse, how they will balance that with you. It ain't about a job. It ain't about the pictures, all of that sand. When you get to that rock and that deep level, when you got to talk about, hey, I never felt love before. Hey, when I didn't have money and I felt alone, when I felt this period of long period of my life, how will you process that with me? Emotionally, when I feel like I don't need nobody around, is why I want you around me the most. How will you tell me that I need that? Do you understand what your partner needs, not the way you want to give it to them? One of the most powerful things, shout out to D again, that I had to learn, I can't love you the way I want to love you. I got to love you the way you need to be loved. So if I got to sit down and chill and watch anime with you, that's love. I don't like it. I'm a sports guy. But that's what love is for that person. We have to understand that being in a marriage with a family is 100% sacrifice. And as a man, yes, you're supposed to sacrifice and leave for your family, but you have the right to ask for something in return. You have the right as a man to expect something from your woman. You have the right when holidays and different things come up that you get spoiled just as much as you spoil her. We're always taught give. Oh, everything will work out. She'll love. No. You got to come with your love up front as well. I know many of us were not raised with dads. Shout out to my pops again. He always kept it transparent and funky. Hey, I'm in this relationship to provide for you as best way I can. I may not have all the money all the time, but I'm going to constantly make sure you're straight and you're secure. I want you to make sure I'm secure as well. That means body. That means physically. That means emotionally. That means mentally. That means anything that I may require from at that moment, you can fill that void at a certain point in time. I'm not asking for you to spend your money. I'm not asking you to figure out everything quickly. I'm asking you to be there in that moment when it's needed. That is a true value of what love is. when you're there for your husband, when he feels tired, she must be there for you, fellas. When Valentine's Day or when holidays come around, yes, she must have your present too. If you're always buying, and she don't spend no money on you, she's not the one for you. All this, you got to keep investing. That's not the one. The woman you love is going to want to do more for you than you do for yourself. My wife bought me more clothes than I buy myself clothes. Seriously. But that is what love is that they are investing in you because you are theirs. Just like she is yours. You become one. It's a constant sacrifice of what is needed to be done in your relationship. So if you get something and the energy is not matched, men, you must understand this new normal. Stop listening to elderly men and what they tell you what's going to happen. No, that wife needs to come prepared for you. If you are in marriage mode, you're looking for a serious relationship, that's what you must seek and find. You must seek your happiness first. I don't care what anybody else tells you. Seek your happiness, chase your purpose first. If your woman, your wife, your potential partner does not understand that, she's not the one for you. She's not. And it's nothing wrong with you standing up and saying that. Specifically as brothers, because many of us are raised by our mothers. We're taught to be helpful and humble. F that. No. Be for yourself. Then you could be helpful and humble. Then you can give. Then you can love. Then you can give. I'm not saying that you got to go past your religious belief, philosophy, none of that. What I'm saying is that secure yourself first. Your needs and wants must be met first. After your needs and wants are met, then you can invest in the other parts of that woman. If your needs and wants are not met, you can't invest and do that part with them. Sorry, not sorry, but it's the truth. Be transparent, be open, and be honest with that. And remember, you are the prize. Oops. You are the prize, fellas. Don't let that get confused, man. Don't let that get confused by the talking like you ain't the prize, you ain't a good man. Yes, you are. If you have value, if you have encouraging things that you want to be said, you are the prize. Don't you ever forget that. Because remember, what you're going to add and what you're going to do for this relationship is going to be so surprising what you're going to be doing. You hear what I'm saying? And don't ever forget that. Like I said, there has been many conversations openly about the whole Simone Biles situation. If you don't know the Simone Biles situation, I want you to know that she was married to a professional football player. I'm trying to find a current picture of her right now. And what the husband said in the interview was not disrespectful. What the husband said, hey, it's a find out feeling. I met her. We met inside of Houston. We both began to love and understand each other. You know what I'm saying? As we met on a date nap in a non-traditional way, I found out who she was. And when I had to find out who she was, I had to learn from it. As they met each other, right, as a young couple that they were, what happened was their love hit off initially. It hit off quick. So Simone Biles literally had to shoot a shot at her man. But does it matter? Does it matter long term when they're married and they're happy with each other? I think most people get so caught up in this is how the initial love story happened, but they're not caught into the lasting results. You know what the lasting results are? She got what she wanted. I want to throw something out there, y'all, to everybody to understand. Indeed told me, but I thought it was crazy when she said it, right? Black women support women. They don't support married women. They support single women. And I'm like, man, what you talking about, baby? Y'all stick together. It's a good game. She said, no. If you are married or you have a relationship, you do not get as much support as the single women do. So I'm scratching my head. How is that possible? I mean, every one of y'all want a relationship. And she told me in the woman world, you can have a relationship. You can't brag. You can't talk about it. And your man cannot be many things that women want. So I scratched my head again, y'all. I'm thinking she talking crazy. You know, she used to be saying stuff. It is what it is. But the more you see real life examples like this, such as Simone Biles and her husband, it's true. How is it not true? You got Simone Biles, who was happily married to a, what you mean? The brother's a multimillionaire, NFL player, no children. What am I missing about? He's not the prize. He's the prize. He's the prize because she pursued that prize. Women are a catch. Women are a catch. My wife is a catch. I caught her. She's forever a catch and a great helpmate to me. She is my catch. But I do understand that I am a prize out here. Men, there's nothing wrong with you saying that if you work to put yourself and build yourself up. You are a prize guy. She knew that. She's happily married to him. Why are you upset? Number one, disrespect another woman's husband. That's the first point. We openly critiquing another person's partner. My opinion, I would never do that. She's his partner, right? She spoke on their love story, their love journey. That's theirs. They're happy. In the discussion, she did what she had to do to secure her man. What else need to be said? They're happy. They're going on a life. They're going through this journey. They want children. They want a family. That's what we need more of. We don't need more city girls. We don't need more toxic energy. We don't need no more. You know who the women are to project that negative energy of our sisters out here. You know who they are. Do we need more Simone Biles and her husband, or do we need more of the other culture that's being pushed on us? What do you think? My opinion, we need more families. The job ain't gonna bring it. Them degrees ain't gonna bring it. That education, your friends, none of that is gonna bring the lasting companionship and family you're seeking. It's not. I want all of y'all to have it, man. I ask the question that I ask people all the time. What is the point of going to school for 4 years, getting a master's, PhD, to just work and not have no family? Is that living? Is it living? Is it living to be able to travel and go by yourself? Is it living? Is it living to be a life of nothing with no family? Is it living to have a house without a home? As I broke down, my TikTok, I'll be snapping. There is a difference between a home and a house out here, ladies and gentlemen. Having a home is somebody to come home to, a person, an individual. That's a home. Having a house is a building, a structure, a townhouse, an apartment. A lot of people are house owners. Very few of us have homes. Because when you got a home, you can't wait to get off work and come home. You can't wait to get off and eat dinner and spend time together. You can't wait to see your kids when you get home to see how their day went at work. You can't wait to joke and laugh with your life partner. That's a home, ladies and gentlemen. Simone Biles got a home. I got a home. I know a lot of people that got homes. Ain't that the goal? Ain't that the goal? Or is it just to go to school, make money, do this, do that? That's important too. But the goal of all of this is to have somebody, man. And it's like, it's taboo to say that. It's taboo to say, yo, get somebody. Yo, get a relationship. Yo, have someone. It's taboo in this time to say, get it. I think there's nothing wrong with your situation. I'm not telling you how to live it. Whatever works for y'all works for you, your partners, or partner, whatever. But have something, right? Because at the end of the day, I see all these friendsmen. I be on here looking around. You know what I don't see on none of these friendsmen? That these girls be sharing presents with each other. I don't see no high dollar items. I don't see no Coach purses being exchanged. I don't see no trips to Cabo being bought. I don't see no Christian Dior red bottoms being bought. I don't see no cars being purchased for your girlfriends. Y'all friends' gifts be looking a little basic. Yeah. Them friends and the gifts be looking a little low, which is okay. But let's stop fronting like the man or your power partner or spouse ain't gonna buy you them $100 items. I done bought my wife a few bags, a few of them things, a few of them shoes. I done had to spend many $100,000, not 100, I ain't there yet, many thousands of dollars. I done did it. But let's stop acting like you getting that orange package from one of your friends. They ain't doing that. It's a man that's gonna buy that for you. It's a man that's gonna fly you out, flew you out. It's a man that's gonna send you to Vegas to see Usher. Shout out to me this year. It's a man that's gonna do that. Ain't no woman buying you no gifts like that. That's the goal. That's the goal. That's what all these dates are for. To be taken off that market. Is it to constantly date? Is this a new normal? Men don't want this new normal. Our black men are miseducated on certain subjects as far as race and how we should do things. But is this the new normal we want with each other? We want a constant cycle of just dating with nothing meaningful coming out of it. I ain't saying it ain't fun to date certain times, but these holiday seasons remind you that the dating process should mean something more meaningful. You should have some Christmas gifts under that tree. You should have some presents lined up for you tomorrow. If you ain't got that, you ain't got nobody guaranteed to bring nothing to you. Has your 2023 been as good as you hoped it would be? Do you think your 2023 relationship-wise could be better than it hopes to be? Because truthfully, we got to get to a point where we have honest conversations with each other. The point of going through this thing called life and the new normal, as we like to call it, is to still have somebody. That's what it is. Simone Biles got her person. The same thing should be issued towards you and your family. That's the point. That's the point of all this messaging is, y'all. There is a new normal. It's technically not. It's just history repeating itself. We're trying to recreate things that do not work. You don't have to be a history guru, self-proclaimed scholar like me, but I want you to look at it intuitively, intelligently, thoughtfully, meaningfully, in this glance. Let's look at what works. Sometimes new does not always mean better. We're so into the what's new craze that we don't go back to what works. I want that conversation to come up twice as much now. What works, y'all? Families work. Love works. Companionship works. Knowing your stories work. Understanding race works. Educating your families and the people around you works. We have the foundation steps. We're always trying to recreate and redevelop, which is nothing wrong. I'm never going to stop innovation. But what we have at this point in period right now, speaking specifically towards the Black Americans, for us, I just want to speak towards us, especially for men. We need to go back and look back at what our roots and what our origins were. Not to stay there, but to learn. But to learn what worked long term, what didn't. Let's start with step one. Forget step 3, step 4. Start with number 1. Number 1 on everybody's list. Get a family. Get somebody. Get the love you want at home. Then you can go out and conquer the world. Get your foundation steps right. Reading, eating, diet, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, whatever. Get them solid. And when you got them solid, everything else will line up for you. I know we try to skip around and do different steps, but I want you to pay attention. Look at the news. Epstein's, Jake's. Do any of those things work long term? What I mean, have they been proven to work generation after generation? Or do we always hear the term generational wealth, wealth building, but we never talk about building strong, healthy, and wealthy families? That's step number 1. I don't give a darn what you read, what you learn, or what you understand. The basics that you must have that these holidays remind you is having somebody with you that is going through this journey of life. You don't have to agree with everything I said. You don't have to like any of my message. But I want you to know I want to be here to provide the balance. There was a strong single initiative, which I think is important. There's a strong women ain't going to be married. Men ain't going to be married, which I think is important. But you know what we need? We also need a balance. Somebody that's pro-family, that's understanding, understand the healthy dynamic, understand everything going to be perfect. That's what I want to be. I want to be the person that gives us the balance and the dynamics. Because guess what? I understand that it ain't going to work for everybody, and that's cool. I understand that it ain't going to never be perfect, and that's cool. But what we got to do is have a middle ground here. Not far left, not far right, in the middle. I ain't saying it's going to be like our parents were in the past, but can we use some of those steps to make sure we set each and one body up for what dynamic? Because if not, history told us, and if you don't look at the scores and look at the direction, we are going in a negative direction. We can go negative now, but it cannot persist. We can have our bone moments, but no longer will we repeat these same periods. It's your boy, King Crowder, man. Back again with another live on Sunday. I had to go all the way through. Usually I try to take a break, y'all, but I was so into it. If you're new, comment, like, subscribe. See you 2024, y'all. Spend time with your family. Check on your friends and your people. Text them, tell them you love them. I'm going to do all that tonight. Make sure you check on your strong friends. Make sure you get those packages. If you ain't did nothing, hit their Cash App. Show them love. Because tomorrow's not guaranteed. Learn. This is not the new normal. This is what we've been taught, what matters, and how everything will be gone into. Until next time, if you ain't follow me on YouTube, subscribe. If you ain't like, hit the like button. If you in the comment, tell me you here. I'm proud for anybody that can catch me live on Sundays. If not, I'm just happy that you're here. I'm learning. This is my first year, almost active. Tell me how I'm doing. Your boy. Peace.